Very possible. The Loudoun paper, you stick out like a sore thumb. Thank you for being here very much. Thank you. And so I'm going to share with you information in rapid fire. I'm not going to slow down. We'll take questions after the fact. We're in a bit of a conundrum. It's just like you cannot say that there is voter fraud and election fraud. Everybody understand we can't say that, right?
Yep. Yeah.
These guys can't say there's election fraud and voter fraud either, even if they're given the proof. They can't write it because they are not allowed to do it. You can write all day long, but you can't tell the truth. I hate it. I feel sorry for them because you know what I know. You'll get fired. And you need your paycheck just like everybody else in Americans out there. You understand that? So I know, it's just true. I'm letting you off the hook. I would not. It's okay. I would. You misunderstand me. I'm saying I understand the very, very tough position you're in. I get it, right? I travel all across the U.S., and when newspaper reporters ask about it, I ask them the first thing, can you print the proof I showed you? And the reality is they can't. So, here's the first rule for tonight. Don't believe me. Ask Secretary of State in Georgia, Ratzasberger. I think I said his name right. I'm very bad with German names. But Secretary of State Ratzasberger in Georgia, they call me a failed treasure hunter and a failed inventor. My technology is on 15 billion devices. If that's failure, I'm instructing every one of you to start failing right now.
Yeah.
Fail. Okay. When was the first mail-in ballot mishap fraud in the United States of America when reporters could report the truth? No offense. And it went all the way across the nation. When was the first mail problem in the United States of mail-in ballots? The second term of Abraham Lincoln.
Soldiers.
There you go. In 1948, LBJ was running for the Senate in Texas. He was losing. He had lost. He knew it. At the end, his election manager, campaign manager, got in a car and drove to West Texas and found what has come down to history called ballot box 13. What was in ballot box 13? 202 ballots that LBJ needed to win the election. What's the moral of the story? It still happens in every election now.
Yes.
When these things are learned and they're not fixed, they spread like a cancer. Okay? What I'm going to show you, you would have to either be blind to not see, right? Or you have to be 100% intellectually dishonest. Those are the only two exits of what I'm about to show you. But you decide for yourself. I'm the only person in U.S. history that has actually personally looked at more than 2 million ballots. When you saw Maricopa in action on the floor, and you look at all the colors, reporters saying, designed by the Power Rangers. No. What it was is when you watch people with green shirts on filling out green paperwork and they do one box. When that box was cloned forensically, a green drive with the green paperwork went back in that box and got sealed and has never left them. So when I sit either in court or the Supreme Court and I say, this is fraud, here it is, and the reporters and the attorneys say, there's no such thing as fraud, never happened before, I can say, hey, let's take a trip back to the box. Oh, by the way, when you unseal it, there's the original drive of the photo I'm showing you. By the way, it's going to be in box 34. There's 8 batches. It's going to be batch number 7, and it's going to be ballot number 28 of 199. That's the process you saw in floor. It's all about chain of custody. So let's kind of go through it. Everybody's asking what happened, how to stop it, what do we need to do? Okay? So we'll go to the next slide. This is a military term. Find, fix, finish. In terrorism, it means find the terrorist, get them to a fixed position, and finish them. It's very easy to understand. It's a three-part process. When it comes to election integrity, this is easy. And by the way, if anybody wants a copy of this presentation, give me your email, I'll send you a copy. By the way, you'll have all hard copies, everything, photos, etc. In this, it means we've already found how they do it. We've isolated what we do. We got that Maricopa. The fixed day we have to work on is election day. The finish is going to be up to you. There's no special army coming to fix it. Okay? This is all going to be up to us, we the people. So we got to take America back. We got to find the attacks. We got to fix the attacks. We got to finish off the threats. Let me give you a few numbers real quick. Maricopa has election month, not election day. Who voted by a mail-in ballot before? Great. And you were deployed, right, when you did it? That doesn't count. Okay. When you bring a ballot, when you receive a ballot by the mail, there's an interesting hook in it. They tell you we don't tabulate them, we just confirm them. Here's what happens. When that ballot comes returned in, they're scanning the code on the ballot under the auspices of checking your signature, and it pulls up your entire voter history. It tells everything about you. They statistically know your vote, and they've never opened that ballot. They tell you they don't count it. The second thing they do is they'll get ready for it, they'll open them up, they'll put them in the scanner, but we don't count them. Okay, who voted in person? When you walked in, were you given a ballot to vote with? Raise your hand. You marked it with your own device or a pen, raise your hand. Then you either walked over and you put it in the scanner, or you handed it to somebody to put in the scanner, raise your hand. Did you vote? Raise your hand. Not one of you voted. Oh no, you think I'm kidding? No. You just marked the ballot and had it scanned. That's not your vote. It's not even counted yet. It's not even recorded yet. It's not even in the system yet. There's a little bitty card in the back of it, and until that card is transferred, you did not vote. And if that card gets lost, you did not vote. And if that card gets swapped, you did not vote. You have to understand the mechanisms. How many have heard of Dominion voting machine? Raise your hand. How many of you are upset because the CEO said in front of Congress and said, we do not make machines that connect to the internet? You know they connect to the internet. Raise your hand. There's no such thing as a Dominion voting machine.
What?
You want to wonder why we get our butts kicked? Dominion does not manufacture voting machines, folks. They're a software company. Oops. Most of the computers are Dell computers that you can buy on the internet for $562, which they license to our government for $36,000 a piece. But Dominion doesn't make them. Dominion's software. And until we learn to start speaking the right language, we're never going to fix it. And that's just a true fact. By the way, most of you finger me about 8 or 9, 10 times a day. You just didn't notice this hunk of good-looking man here in the room, right? Just so you know, some of the things that my technology does where you don't know me, if you use your phone to scan a barcode or a Q code or any of that, that's me. You told me I was a crazy lunatic if nobody ever used it. When you go to an airport, you don't print your boarding pass anymore, you turn the code, you turn it down, that's me. When you no longer use CDs or software or any of that media to update your computers, that's me. When you don't do it with your cable update box anymore, that's me. When you don't update your phone anymore, that's me. When the old web pages we used to look at that broke, we tried to look at my phone, but now they're sized to the device, that's me. When you go to a toll booth and you no longer throw change, trying to get it done, and miss it, and stop and get out and do the walk of shame. When you chunk your changes and it just automatically reads the tag, knows your shopping cart, knows your credit card, that's me. I am what you call a failed inventor. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Here's some numbers from Loudoun County. I'm going to compare it to Maricopa, because I'm only going to talk about Loudoun County on this slide only, because I haven't done Loudoun County. But everything that's happened in all the swing states and all the 6 counties is the same. In Loudoun County, just so you know, we were talking earlier, Tom was talking about how many ballots were overprinted. That's a big problem. 41% of the day of total ballots, you could replace 41% of the votes with those extra ballots. That's a big deal. Nobody can account for those ballots, but that's a big deal. If you include the ballot on demand, pod ballots, 44% or 55% of the vote can be replaced if they use the excess ballots. Why does this matter? Simple math. Maricopa County has 857,000 some odd registered voters. 2,800,000 some odd thousand. The balloteer printing the ballot for it, printed for Maricopa County and sent 4,089,000. Now, if you're going to steal an election and you're going to swap votes, you need 2 things. You need time and you need extra ballots. The ballot is the key. The ballot is your historical document. Our great country was founded on an incredible document called the Declaration of Independence. And our country's going to hell in a handbasket for a stupid piece of paper called a ballot. That we can control and fix. That we can control and fix. And in fact, our system in the United States of America is so secure and so perfect that they won't let us look at it. Reporters will call me a conspiracy theorist and say, prove it. If I was on the board of electors, the reporters will mockingbird everything I say. Say, what would you like me to stress? Could you wear a better suit? Let's do your pretty side. They're not reporters. They're stenographers. I find it disingenuous that they will go to a board of electors and ask them if their election was safe and secure and just write what they say. And even the board of electors can't prove it. Or electors will call us conspiracy theorists, and I go, well, I processed 3 petabytes of ballots, hand-searched 2.1 million. How many have you done? Oh, by the way, that was looking at 188 million ovals. I see ovals in my sleep. Let's go to the next slide. I'm going to show you some of the forensics we do. I'm going to point out a few things. When you saw the cameras in Maricopa, this was one of the forensic photographs that we were getting. This is called a forensic quad. I had to take my brain and technology and figure a new way to